Hello everyone, welcome to EEE Lab number 2. Today we are going to discuss and simulate battery level indicator circuit in Proteus. So let us start. So the aim of the experiment is to understand the voltage division concept, current division concept and principle of operation of LED, and to develop a micro project that is battery level indicator based on the concepts learned in point number 1. Okay, aim number 1. So in the very first EEE lab, we have discussed the voltage division concept. So in this case, your task number 1. So basically, this entire lab is divided into 4 tasks. So task number 1 will be, voltage division concept verification. So you have this circuit wherein we have a voltage source Vs as 9 volt, and you have 3 resistors of 1 kilo ohm each. So basically the value is 1 kilo ohm. Right now it's not written. Please consider it as 1 kilo ohm each. So here the voltages will be 9 volts and 0. So we have to find the voltage VA and VB, and also to find the current IS flowing through the circuit. So IS will be given by Vs upon R1 plus R2 plus R3, and VA and VB will be given by the voltage division rule, which are given by these formulas. Okay, last time we've seen the usage of this voltage division rule. So note down the values of VA and VB, and task 1 table will consist of quantities VA, VB and IS, where I given a sample calculation of VA. So VA is coming out to be 6 volts over here, and similarly you note down the values of VB calculation by this formula, and also note down the final the value of IS, the source current. Okay, so the learning from this lab which we'll be learning is, in series network the current will remain the same, the voltage gets divided. So that's what we learned from this task number 1, that is voltage division concept. So please make the circuit in Proteus. The video is already shared with you all for the lab number 1. So refer that video and extend it and make this circuit. Mind you, whenever you want to measure current, you need to connect a DC ammeter over here, and whenever you want to measure any voltage, you need to connect the DC voltmeter in Proteus. Now let's come to task number 2. So task number 2, it's the reverse of task number 1. That is, in task number 1 we were checking the voltage division concept. Now we are checking the current division concept. There the circuit was in series. Here the circuit is in parallel. So you have 3 resistors R1, R2 and R3 of 1 kilo ohm each. Let me just expand it. Yeah. So we have 3 resistors of 1 kilo ohm each in parallel connected, and we have a voltage source of 9 volts, same voltage source. So we need to determine IS, I1, I2 and I3. Okay, and remember that when you do this circuit in LT-Spice, you have to replace each current part by a DC ammeter. So basically there are 4 currents, so you have to add the DC ammeter in series of the network. So you might have to break the wire and connect it in series. So for this circuit, you need to calculate the current I1, I2, I3 and IS, which is calculated as follows. So I1 will be Vs upon R1, I2 will be Vs upon R2, since the voltage is the same over here. So I2 will be Vs upon R2, I3 will be Vs upon R3, and I2 will be Vs upon R2. So that's what we determine. And Is will be given by the summation of 3 currents. As you can see, if you apply a KCL over here, the incoming current is Is and the outgoing currents are I1, I2 and I3. So Is will be given by I1 plus I2 plus I3. So you will observe that from task number 1 and task number 2, here the current has increased a little. You will observe it actually. So here the current was a little less in a series network. Okay, and in task number 2 the current is increased. I mean, you will observe it definitely, the Is will go up, right? So think on it, what might have happened. So the clue is, in the first circuit the resistors were connected in series, so the values were getting added up, correct? So if it is a 1 kilo ohm resistance, the value should be 3 kilo ohm. So what would have been the value of Is? So Is would have been 9 volt divided by 3 kilo ohm, correct? So that would have been around 3 milliamperes. But here in this case, what happens to the 3 resistances? The 3 resistances are getting divided. I mean, they are in parallel, so the combination will be the even lesser resistance. So if the resistance decreases, my current will definitely increase. So that's the justification for current increasing. So here I1 itself is 9 milliamperes. Similarly, I2, I3 also will be 9 milliamperes, and the total will be I1 plus I2 plus I3, which will be 27 milliamperes. So you will get a simulated value also close to nearby values in Proteus when you observe it. So what will be the learning? So in a parallel network or a circuit, the current gets split up, and whereas the voltage remains constant. So over here, the current is getting split up, and voltage, whereas in this circuit, the voltage is remaining constant at 9 volts. Okay, now let us move on to task number 3, which we will be observing in Proteus live today. So this is task number 3. What you need to do is connect a voltage source, a diode, a LED basically, a light emitting diode. So what is light emitting diode? Whenever you apply a voltage across the diode, so this is my cathode and anode. So whenever you exceed a certain voltage, we call it as a turn on voltage of the diode, or we call it mathematically as VD on. So whenever you apply an external voltage greater than the turn on voltage of the diode starts converting. So in this case, since it is a light emitting diode, it will emit light. So basically, if it is a red color, it will emit red light. If it is a green color, it will emit green light. So we will observe it in Proteus with simulation. And we have one resistor over here, R1 of 330 ohms. So basically, the functionality of the resistor is to limit the current flowing to the diode. So let's imagine that you don't have anything connected over here. Directly, it is connected to the ground. So let's say by mistake the supply is short circuited. So it will damage the entire supply voltage will come across the diode, which will damage the diode. So to prevent such situations, we will limit the current to the circuit by this resistor. Normally, this resistor is less than 1 kilo ohm, so even smaller than around 500 ohms. So here we have selected it as 330 ohms. Okay. So what do we do? The voltage across the diode is called as VD1. The voltage across the resistor R1 is called as VR1, which is equal to 330 ohms. And so what does the KVL says? KVL says Vs is equal to VD1 plus VR1. So when you do the calculations in the table, your Vs should be equal to VD1 plus VR1. Okay, that number should come proper. So what you need to do is go for table number 3A. So what will happen is slowly increase the value of Vs such that the diode, the LED D1 is just on. Okay, and note down the corresponding values of Vs, VD1, and VR1 with the help of DC voltmeter in Proteus. Now, for table number 3B, you increase the voltage of supply and such that the LED glows brightly now. So whenever the LED grows brightly, and even after increasing the voltage, its brightness is not increasing, record that value over here. So record the simulated values in Proteus, record the value of Vs, VD1, and VR1. So these are the two tables which you need to fill. So one thing if you notice is whenever this LED turns on, the voltage across the LED hardly will change. So it will remain almost constant. Whereas the current flowing through the circuit will keep on increasing. Okay. So please remember this fact. Again, I repeat, whenever the diode is turned on, sufficiently on, that is, it's glowing brightly, that time, even if we increase the supply voltage, the voltage across the LED will remain same, almost constant. So we will observe this task in Proteus now. So let us go to Proteus. Let me just keep this aside over here like this. Okay. Okay. So we have to simulate this circuit on the left hand side of your screen. I have adjusted it. So this is the circuit which you have to simulate in Proteus. So let us start. So this is my Proteus 8 demonstration version. I'll go to new schematic, new project basically. So and click on next, click on next, next. By default, you click on next and go on finish. Okay. So now what we need to do is, this is my working space. So the blue color line we see over here, the window, is my working space. So see to it that you work in this within this space. So you go to click on this P. This is your pick device. So from here you can type LED. So when you type LED, scroll down. You have to search for optoelectronics. So if you search for optoelectronics, you will see many diodes, animated LEDs. So from there you can select. Let's say I am selecting yellow LED. Okay, click on OK. So that pick devices has come to our window. Now next is register. Just type the word register. So from here you can select 0.6 watt metal fill, and here from select the first one and click on OK. Okay, the register have also come, and now we are ready to build up the circuit. So what we need to do is, let me just expand it a little. Yeah. So I'll keep this. I'll gentle drag it over here. Okay, just pick and drop, and I'll right click and rotate anti-clockwise. So we want it this way, right? And next will be my register. Again, I select from here and I double click here. It will get pasted. Again, I'll rotate anti-clockwise. Okay. Now, what do I connect for the supply? So for the supply, what you need to do is go over here. Here there is a generator, right? Click on that generator mode and you select DC from here. So you do that right click on the screen, so that will appear on your screen. So this is basically will act as my, let me just increase it a little. Yeah, I think now it's fine. Yeah, so this is basically will act as a DC voltage source. Okay, this act as a VS basically. Now what we need to do is, actually we need to connect them together now. And there is one more thing which is adding the we can connect actually. So that is your, again go to components, again go to pick devices and type your potentiometer. So you go to variable and select the high the pot HG. So you drag it from here and paste it over here. Okay, so this is my potentiometer, digital, I mean it will animated potentiometer basically. Okay, and now I will connect the wires. So this wire will go over here. I will explain you why we are doing this, and this connections will go from here to here, and this will go from here. So it's a 3-terminal variable potentiometer. Okay, now I have to name it properly. So I'll double click, right click on it, and I name it as, we have named it as VS, so we will also name it as VS. And VS is, let's say we can go till +10. So just written VS till +10, and we have to also give the value. Don't forget that we have to give the value over here, or else it will not generate. So right here 10 volts. Okay, so we have given a supply voltage of 10 volts. Now, why do we connect this, animated potentiometer? So that we want to vary the value of, this voltage, the supply DC source VS from 0 to 10 volts. Okay, so as you can see clearly, there is some percentage written over here. 60, right now it is 61%. You can, while animating, you can decrease this from here to 0%. So when it is at 10%, let's say, so 10% means 10% of 10 volt, that will be 1 volt. So now 1 volt will be applied to the circuit, and when it is 100%, your entire 10 volt will be applied to the circuit. I hope that you all are following. We will demonstrate it very soon. Now the circuit is almost complete except one fact: the ground is remaining. So right click, go to place, go to terminals, and select ground. Here it is. My ground is also connected now. And also I need to suitably select the value of this R1. It's not 100K, it's 330. So from here you can select 330 ohms and click on OK. Fine. Also double click on this value of, right click on this and edit the properties of this potentiometer. Here the resistance, change it to 100 ohms. We don't require 1 kilo, we require 100 ohms. Okay. So yeah, my circuit is ready to start now simulating. So okay, let us start. Let me drag it to 0 first. Okay, I think I was talking about this point over here. Let me just make it 0. Okay, so as you can see, it's moving and it's 0 now. So for let us start my run my simulation. So you have to click on this run simulation button. So it's started to simulate. Okay, now I will slowly. Okay, there is one thing which I want to tell you all. One setting is remaining. I forgot to tell you all. You need to right click on the LED. Go to edit properties. So here, na, there will be digital. The model type will be digital. You change it to analog and click on OK. Okay, just one change is there. The rest is fine. Okay, so we'll click on this and we'll slowly increase the voltage. Okay, we want to see how much voltage is this, right? So what we will do is, again, I stop the simulation. We have to stop, pause, and then stop the simulation. Both we have to do. So this is my pause the simulation and this is my stop the simulation. So first I have to pause and then I have to stop. Okay, so what I was saying was, we'll go to this probe and we'll drag left click over here and we'll attach a probe over here. That is a voltage probe basically. Okay, so this voltage probe I will attach it over here, which will continuously monitor my voltage. Fine. Now, so let us start simulating the circuit again. Okay, little bit this side. Yeah. So let us start simulating the circuit. Before that, we want to animate the circuit also. So go to systems, set animation options, click on show wire voltage by color, click on that, and click on also the show wire current with arrows. I click on it and click on OK. So now when you start the simulation again, let me just begin it again. Okay, as you can see, you will get to see some wires. I mean, some arrows in the wires. The green color will indicate that it's going to the ground. Red color will indicate that the current is the bright red color is the current is starting to flow from there. Okay, so right now, my let me go to 0 over here. So if it is 0, if this is at 0%, that means my no voltage is applied to the circuit. Let me increase to 10%. So at 10%, my voltage across, I mean, what voltage I'm applying is 0.999. So that is equivalent to 1 volt. That is what is meaning of 10% of, 10 volt. That will be 1 volt. So now let me slowly increase this. I have to just note down the voltage at which the diode has, it's slightly, you know, yeah, you can see it's slightly glowing. Diode is just glowing. So what you need to do is, in this circuit, whenever a diode just turns on, we need to measure the parameters, that is Vs, Vd1 and Vr1. So basically you are checking now Vs. So Vs is around 2.95. So around 2.95 the diode is glowing. Now let me stop the simulation and attach a DC voltmeter basically. So I need to little bit, yeah. So now for DC voltmeter, you go to this and instruments, and from here you can select a DC voltmeter over here and connect a DC voltmeter over here like this, and one more you can add it like this over here. Okay, now this I can rotate also anti-clockwise, and I can attach it into the circuit like this. So this will directly measure my voltage across the diode, LED diode, and this will measure my voltage across the resistor R1. Okay, and now if I run the simulation again, let me minimize it. Okay, so let me run the simulation again. So right now, if I run the simulation again, you can see that the voltage across the LED is around 2.2 volts. So that you note down over here. Vs is around 2.95. But also you note down the entire value. And my voltage across the resistor VR1 is around 0.76. So you remember we have talked about here the KVL is Vs is equal to Vd1 plus Vr1. So if you add Vd1 and Vr1 voltages, you will get back to your Vs voltage only. So you can record that very easily. Okay, so this is how you will note down and fill up this table number 3a. Now, let us proceed further. We need to go on increasing the value of Vs such that now for table number 3b, the LED glows brightly. So we again increase the value, just increase this. So slowly my LED will glow, the yellow LED will glow. We need to stop when it is extremely bright. So yeah, now it is bright, I guess. It is sufficient bright. Even if I increase it to very high value, still, it's not decreasing. Its brightness is constant. So I think somewhere around 5 volts or so. Let me just, yeah. So here it is less bright. Now let me increase it slightly. I think this is the maximum brightness which we can get. So the whenever the LED grows brightly, I think at this point now, at around 5.08 volts supply, so Vs will be 5.08405, and your Vd1 is around 2.22. Last time also it was close to 2. You remember that when we right click on this property, I will show it to you after the simulation, and my VR1 is actually 2.86. So even if I increase it, I was talking about this characteristics, right? Now once the diode voltage has reached, we have exceeded the turn on voltage of the diode. Now even if we increase the value of the supply voltage, the diode across the diode voltage is hardly changing. It's 2.26, 2.2. Even if the supply voltage is changing from 5 to 10, the diode voltage is hardly changing from 2.2 to 0.27. So that's what the meaning of this curve is. Okay, so that's what the IV curve indicates, that the diode will turn on after a certain voltage. Okay, so this is the way you note down. Where it was around 53%, right? The diode was brightly glowing. Yeah, I think this was the point. So you note down the corresponding values of VD1 and VR1 for this circuit. Okay, so this completes my part, and you can see carefully whenever the current starts flowing, this wires turns red. Okay, and it becomes light red whenever the current is flowing through the resistor, and below the circuit, if you see carefully, all the uh, all the current is flowing through the ground. Sorry. So all the current is flowing through the ground, as you can see, all the arrows. So this will indicate the direction of the arrows in the circuit. Okay, let me just reduce it. Yeah. So this will indicate the direction of the arrows in the circuit. Okay, I talked about this diode voltage of 2.22. Let me explain this. So this is how you will run the simulation. Don't forget to add your name and your roll number here. So you can add your name. Let me type. Okay, reduce this. So let me add my name over here. Similarly, you can add your own name and your roll number and your lab number. Okay, so please do that. It's mandatory, and keep this as around 0.15 inches. So this way you add your roll number, your name, your date. Today's date, and whenever your lab is there, and also the lab name, the lab number, EEE lab number 2 battery level indicator circuit. So what I was saying was it was coming 2.22, right? When you right click on the diode, go to properties. So that 2.2 volts is this. This is the value of 2.2. So that's why it was remaining constant at around 2.2. So once the external voltage exceeded this value, it was holding that value over here basically. So that's how it operates. And this is about task number 3. Okay. Now we will pause for around 30 seconds and we'll move on to the battery level indicator circuit. Okay, so let us resume. First, let me pause the simulation and then stop the simulation. Now we have to build up the circuit for battery level indicator. Let me just maximize this PDF a little. Okay. So over here, I have already described what all parameters you have to fill. There is a lot of learning coming in. How does the diode turns on, how much voltage it requires, and the concept of the current limiting. then the diode voltage remaining constant while when the supply voltage is increasing, then the LED glowing brightly and noting down the values of Vs. Remember over here, Vs will be the addition of VD1 plus VR1. Your KVL is also getting verified over here. So a lot of learnings we are getting from task number 3. Now, so are you all ready for the micro project that is your battery level indicator? Okay, so let's build a circuit of a battery level indicator. So task number 3 is this. So okay, this is my circuit. So eventually it means that whatever concepts we have learned in task number 1, 2, 3, we will apply it over here. So here just briefly, what do we have? We have a supply voltage VDC of 15 volts. Okay, and I'll explain you what is a battery level indicator while simulating in Proteus. So we have to build a circuit. So basically, whenever we have a LED, we have to take another LED from there, and in the series of the LED, we should connect a resistor of 100 ohm. Basically, this is my current limiting resistor. Okay, that's the job of it. So one by one, the LED will glow and it will indicate the battery level. So let us try to build a circuit. Okay, I'll minimize this. I have to use the maximum screen now for this. Okay, let me remove this voltmeter and this DC voltmeter from now on. I will work on the same circuit basically. So let me delete this. Okay, fine, very good. So now, okay, let's start building. With this part of the circuit will remain same. Let me take this as yellow. It's fine. We will go to some more LEDs. We can select type here LED, and you will type the select optoelectronics, and from here I mean which color we can select as yellow we have selected, so we can select green. Okay, and we can select red also. LED and electro elect optoelectronics, and we will select now red. So where is my red color? Over here. Okay, so these are the diodes. I mean, we can select one more color, but it's fine. We will first use a red color, so we'll delete this also. Okay, so let us start. So first we will use the red color LED. So place it over here, anti-clockwise direction. So this is the one way. Okay, and then also we need to add a resistance. So this resistance is, so place it over here. Fine, no need to rotate it. We can place it over here directly, and keep a distance because we have to take a wire from here. What we need to do is we need to right click on this, double click on this, and just select as 100. Remove that K. We want it to be 100. Now we can right click and drag this object and right click over here, block copy. So just click on block copy. So I repeat, we have to, I'll just repeat it a little later. Let me just complete the circuit now. Okay, so next LED will be, let's say, a yellow LED. Okay, I'll place it over here, somewhere around here, and I will right click and rotate anti-clockwise. Fine, and again I will connect one more LED. This time it will be again a yellow LED. I'll place it over here and I rotate anti-clockwise. Yeah, that's it. And last will be my green LED. So I can place it over here, left click and rotate, right click and rotate, sorry. And now I'll connect this connections. So basically I have to paste the same LED over once more. So what you need to do is left click, drag it, left click and drag, and then again right click and tell block copy. So it will copy the same block. I mean, yeah, from here. So you can paste one register over here, another we can place it over here, and there is one more we can place it over here. Okay, see to it that you don't exceed the workspace basically. So I can move this little bit inside, and this also I can move it inside a little. So now let us join them with a wire. So here it goes. So you just need to connect them together. That's it. So it will take less than a minute to connect them. It's very simple in Proteus, basically. Okay, and lastly, we need to join them together now from here. Okay, so we can take this and we can connect them like this. So whenever you see, whenever there is a connection, that this dot will come. So that will indicate that there is a connection over here. Okay, now we also need to connect this to ground also. Let me delete this wire. So somewhere there is a ground, so we need to connect these connections. Oh yeah, and the ground will come a little down over here like this, and we can connect it. So we have just modified the earlier circuit only. Yeah. So I think it's looking good. This is my. Let me just shift it slightly up. Okay, so perfect. So this circuit which you see on your screen is my battery level indicator. Okay, so first let us start demonstrating the circuit, and then I'll explain you. Let me just shift to 0. Okay, now all the LEDs I have to right click, go to edit property, and select the model as analog. You have to compulsorily do it, and also select the forward voltage as 2 volts for simplicity. So again, right click on the, double click on it. You select the model type as analog. If you don't do that, the circuit won't work basically properly. Again, double click and select the properties from here. Give it as 2 volts, and also select the model type as analog. So don't forget to do that. And then click on OK. Here it is proper. Here let me check. Yeah, it's digital. So make it analog, and this you can make it as 2 volts. Here let me cross check. It is 2 volts. Yeah, correct. So this is my simple battery level indicator. Now let's see how it works. And we have added already. We have to apply a 15 volt signal basically. So this is VDC 15. This is just a label. Okay. This is important. This we have to make it as 15. So we have made that as 15 volts. So 15 volt is coming. Now again, why do we have connected a potentiometer, actually animated potentiometer, so that we have to vary the circuit from 0 to 15 volts. So that's why we have connected such a connection. And this will measure my probe voltage, that is my supply voltage only, VDC. Okay, so let us start working. Let the circuit start working now. So I'll click on the run the simulation. Hopefully it will work. So as you can see, my animations are coming up. Now the arrow is actually going towards the ground. So everything is green. That means no current is flowing into the circuit. So here it is red. That means it's ready to work. So now let me slowly increase the value of this potentiometer. So you can see around 15. I mean it around 10%. 10% of 15 is around 1.5. So here we are getting around 1.499. That is 1.5. So it's working fine. Now let me increase it slowly such that my first LED glows. Okay, you can see slightly it's glowing. Red LED is glowing. So around 3 point, around 3.3 or 3.2, my red LED is glowing sufficiently. Now let's slightly increase the voltage. My next LED should glow. Okay, so I am slightly increasing it. Yeah, it should be bright. Yeah, right now it is bright. So you see that it will be super bright around 5 point somewhere around 3. So why it is so? So you see the first LED took around 3.3 volts to turn on. Correct? After 3.3 around it was turning on. And you remember that we have set the voltage of the diode voltage inside as 2 volts LED voltage, the turn on voltage. So that means this is around 3.3. Initially it will take 3.3, right? And then the diode voltage again will require 2 volts to turn on. So that's why at around 5.3 volts nearby, the second LED also goes on. I mean, glows on, right? Turns on. And I mean, what will be the prediction for the next yellow LED? So the next yellow LED will should turn on around first LED turned on around 3.3. So 2 volts if you add, it will be 5.3. So if you again add 2 volts, so somewhere around 7.3 volts. Yeah, again this LED will glow on. So let us see whether it works or not this way. So slightly I'll increase the voltage. I can see the change in the wire. I mean, the current direction is visible. Everything is going towards the ground. So it's a very good and handy animation over here. And you can see this is becoming more and more red. So that means it's passing more and more current. So let me slowly increase the voltage. Okay. So it's as per our prediction, it should glow at around 7.3. So it's glowing around 7.3. Perfectly fine. So now let me increase the voltage further. So according to our prediction, around 9.3, the last LED should also glow. Okay, so we have reached around 9 volts. So it will take some more voltage drop. Doesn't matter. So around 9.8 volts, the LED is growing brightly. So we are around it's detecting the voltage. So basically what is happening is we know what do you mean by we are seeing the battery level indicator. Basically we are using it. Basically in your mobile phones, there is a small symbol at the top right corner or the top left corner of your mobile indicating the battery. And even in your cars, I mean, the battery is low, it's the indicator is there. And in a lot of other places, in the volume control, everywhere, I mean, in wherever you require display element, and wherever you want to see that a critical application where the batteries cannot reduce very low value, so there you require this battery level indicator. So when the supply voltage is, let's say, I'll apply 10 volts. So 10 volts indicates that my battery is fully charged. Okay. And let's say after using this battery, let's consider a scenario. And I'm explaining this. So let us reduce this, from 10 volts. Let's say the battery has dropped down the voltage to 8 volts. So the one indicating will be less. So right now, I mean, the one LED will go off. That means indicate that this will corresponds to that one LED is off. So my battery is a little bit storing lesser charge. So at around 8 volts. Let me reduce it further. Yeah. So right now I'm around 6 volts, and again one more LED has gone off, indicating that my battery has reduced its voltage level. In terms of percentage, we can consider. And if I decrease it further, yeah, this will make so that around 4 volts, my battery is critically low. So it's fully charged at 10 volts, but right now it is 4. Only one LED is on. A red LED indicates danger. So it's also indicating that the battery is at critically low voltage now. So if I decrease it further, if the voltage across, I mean, if the battery cannot sustain a certain voltage, so let's say that voltage is critically low, so my all the LEDs will glow off, and I mean turn off, indicating that the battery is no longer sustaining any current. Okay. And it's no longer holding any, I mean, it's providing any voltage. So this way, the battery level indicator, it will indicate the battery whenever a certain voltage is reached. As you can see, first LED was glowing on. Let us concentrate again. So first LED was glowing on brightly around 3.3. If you notice carefully, yeah, here it is. Second LED will turn on brightly at around 5.3. If you see carefully, yeah. The third yellow LED will glow around 7.3 volts, and the last one will glow somewhere around 9.8 something. So this is the way the battery level indicator works. Okay. Now, so you need to observe this. I mean, all the animations here on your Proteus. You try this circuit out. It's very good, and a lot of learnings you learn from here. Okay. Now let me just pause the simulation and show you all something. Let us go back to our PDF. Okay. So now you can understand, you can answer this question. What does the circuit do? How does it work? and where it is used. So all the three questions you should be able to answer them right now. So what is the role of R1, R2, and R3 and R4? They are the current limiting resistors, basically. Okay. So let us come to our observation table. So you remember we were checking the voltages of the various battery levels. I mean, the supply voltage when it was turning on like this. So the first LED was turning out around 3.3, nearby about 3.3 volts. So whenever the first LED is on, LED one, that is the red LED, you need to note down that voltage whenever it is on, the supply voltage. That means you note down this voltage over here, which is displaying over here. Okay. Then next is two LEDs are glowing on. So the red one and the one yellow. So note down the corresponding value of the supply voltage, VDC. And the three LEDs are glowing on. So one red and two yellow. So note down that voltage. And when all LEDs are glowing on, again note down that voltage. So basically you need to note down this. So this is the when one LED is on. Okay. So this is the value of the voltage you need to note down. This value over here. So this you need to write that in the table. Now let me show you all that. Okay, whenever it is glowing brightly, so this is the value you will note down in the table. Whenever two LEDs are glowing, and if I increase it over here, so this is the value you will note down for your, whenever the next LED is glowing on, whenever the three LEDs are glowing on, and whenever the all are glowing on, you need to note down the supply voltage. I mean, it's when it is just glowing, I mean, brightly glowing. So it will be around 10 volts, close to 10 volts. So at around 10 volts, all the LED will glow. So you need to fill this table out. Okay. Now the second table is most important. I mean, more important basically. You need to note down the status of various LEDs, status of voltages across the LEDs and all the resistors. So across all the LEDs, you need to note down their voltages. I mean the VD1, VD2, VD3, VD4, and VR1, VR2, VR3, VR4. So basically, what you need to do is in this schematic, let me just slightly expand it. Okay, yeah, this is better. Yeah, so what you need to do is you can connect, I'm not doing it right now. What you can do is you can connect a voltmeter across the diode 1 and connect a voltmeter across the D2. You can connect it like this over here, across D3, D4. Also connect the voltmeter across R1, R1, R2, R3, and R4. So this will directly give you, and do this whenever all the LEDs are on. That means around somewhere around the supply voltage should be 10 volts. So right now is the good point. Whenever the supply voltage is at around, 10 volts, so that time you can measure the value of VD1, VD2, VD3, VD4, R1, R2, and R3. So let me show you some sample case. So here is my DC voltmeter. I'll place it over here. Let's consider. I have to stop the simulation basically. So I'll place my voltmeter over here, and another voltmeter I'll place it over here. Okay, I'll rotate it clockwise, anti-clockwise. Here also I'll rotate it anti-clockwise. I'm showing it just for VD1 and VR1. Similarly, y'all are free to do it. I mean, you all have to do it for the others also. So let me just connect with a wire. Okay. Okay, so when we play this simulation again, the voltages should come. As you can see clearly, VD1 is around 2.57 and VR1 is around 8.04. So this way you can place the voltmeter, DC voltmeter at various places and determine the values of VD1 and VR1 and all that. Okay. Now most important thing is, since this is a demonstration version, if I go here and try to save this circuit, and it will not get saved because it's a demonstration version. Okay, it's a evaluation version, not the full version basically. So how to save your work? So what you do is, whenever your circuit is running at various conditions, you can do that. I mean, you can take 2-3 plots. Let me just adjust this so that entire circuit comes properly. Yeah. So this way my the circuit is working now, and I can see two voltages. So what I can do is I can go to print screen and click on print screen, and then I can go to my allotted Word document and attach my print screen over here like this. So here you can see my circuit is getting recorded this way. So I have attached the print screen of my working circuit. Don't forget to add your name and your roll number. So this is the way for every case you can attach a print screen. That means my first LED is going on, or two LEDs are going on, three LEDs are going on, and all four. So make sure that the animations are turned on and the voltmeter and all that is connected. So you can attach as many print screens as you want. Okay. I think we have come to our end. I think I have discussed everything. This was the last table 4B, and I think that's it for this battery level indicator. We have okay. We come back to our aim. Whether we have understood voltage division concept, yes, definitely. Current division concept, yes. Whether we have understood the principle of operation of LED, well, definitely yes. And have we developed a micro project that is a battery level indicator based on the concept learned in point number 1? Definitely yes, a big yes. Okay. So this is the way we can we can develop the circuits in Proteus and observe this animations live. So that's it for this online session. Next time we'll build some other circuit in Proteus. So until then, have a good day, stay safe, and thank you.